Step one in any commercial manufacturing process is defining exactly what we are building. Today, our objective is to compound a commercial-grade, sulfate-free aloe vera shampoo. Consumers are actively seeking natural alternatives for hair care. The goal is to create a product that effectively cleanses the scalp without stripping away the hair's natural, necessary oils. If we look at this product overview document, we can see the exact functional benefits we need to hit. A successful batch will actively help reduce dandruff and itchiness while nourishing the scalp from root to tip. Consistently achieving those specific therapeutic results means we have to eliminate all the guesswork. We need a strictly standardized, quantifiable formulation to guarantee the chemistry works perfectly every single time. Looking directly at this formulation table for our 1 kilogram batch, we establish our baseline volume first. We require exactly 300 grams of clear inner aloe vera gel, mixed with 520 grams of distilled water, which acts as our primary diluent. Next is the surfactant triad. These are our cleansing agents, balanced specifically to avoid skin irritation. 100 grams of cocoa glucoside, 50 grams of decyl glucoside, and 30 grams of cocamidopropyl betaine to boost the foam. To reduce frizz and add shine, we add our conditioning agents, 20 grams of glycerin to draw in moisture, 10 grams of polyquaternium 7, and 10 grams of panthenol, also known as provitamin B5. Finally, to lock in the product's shelf life and commercial viability, we need 5 grams of a 10% citric acid solution, 10 grams of Euxyl PE 910 preservative, and 5 grams of a herbal fragrance. Weighing these exact 11 components with absolute precision is our non-negotiable baseline. A deviation of even a few grams can trigger chemical instability and cause the final liquid to separate or spoil. Before mixing, we check the equipment breakdown. You will need a digital weighing scale for accurate grammages, completely sanitized stainless steel mixing bowls, and fine strainers to catch organic particulate. Attempting to compound a commercial product with standard kitchen measuring cups or unsterilized tools is a guaranteed way to introduce bacteria and fail the batch entirely. We begin by physically extracting the raw material. Wash the leaves thoroughly, then carefully slice away every trace of the green outer skin. We only want the clear inner gel. Any green residue left behind will contaminate the batch. Raw gel is chunky, making it difficult to measure with precision. Run it through a mechanical blender until completely smooth before weighing out 300 grams. Next, we build the aqueous base. In a clean beaker, add distilled water and glycerin. Now, if you look closely at step 3 in the provided instructions, it explicitly calls for adding propylene glycol here, a component not listed in our initial breakdown. Always cross-reference your written protocols to catch these hidden variables. Stir this mixture until completely combined. Achieving a perfectly uniform water base right now dictates how successfully the heavier chemicals will integrate next. Now we introduce the primary foaming agents, cocoa glucoside and decyl glucoside. The instructions include a strict warning here. You must stir exceptionally slowly. Moving to step 5, we add the cocamidopropyl betaine. This requires a coordinated motion. Maintain a continuous, slow pour of the liquid while keeping your stirring rod moving at a steady, gentle pace. When executed correctly, the surfactant phase will integrate into a clear, slightly viscous solution. The surface should remain perfectly flat, without any thick foam cap forming at the top. Over-agitation during this phase traps permanent microbubbles inside the mixture. Those bubbles will permanently cloud the liquid and ruin the final commercial density of your product. With the volatile surfactants stabilized, we can reintroduce our organic phase. Pour in the blended aloe gel and polyquaternium 7, mixing continuously until reaching visual uniformity. Next, we stir in the panthenol and our chosen fragrance. Notice that reading step 7 of the written method shows they skipped adding the liquid preservative here entirely. You must manually account for adding 10 grams of Euxyl PE 9010 to prevent bacterial growth. This graph visualizes our next biological requirement. We use the 10% citric acid solution to drop the high alkalinity of the mixture. Add it drop by drop until the batch stabilizes exactly inside the skin-safe zone of 5.0 to 5.5. For the final physical step, pour the entire batch through a fine mechanical strainer to catch any microscopic, unblended organic plant particulates that slipped through earlier. Hitting that precise pH target and straining out the debris leaves us with a chemically safe, consistent fluid dynamic that is completely ready for the market. Place a clean funnel over your recommended plastic or PET containers and carefully transfer the stabilized product into the bottles. Cap them tightly and apply your commercial labels. According to the estimated yield on our specification sheet, this precise 1 kilogram protocol produces exactly 2 500 milliliter commercial units. Looking at the costing example, mapping out the cost of ingredients and packaging against our suggested retail price reveals the financial returns. It nets a highly favorable estimated gross profit of 20 to 80 pesos per individual bottle. By strictly adhering to this precise chemical methodology, we successfully converted raw, low-cost organic plant matter into a predictable, scalable commercial asset. To source the specific commercial ingredient packages, kits, and starter materials required to execute this exact formula, send your inquiries directly to thinksmartph@google.com. Next time, we advance our manufacturing operations, shifting from liquid surfactant chemistry to the precise solid saponification process required to manufacture commercial aloe vera soap.